Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Own Your Eating podcast. And today we are very fortunate to have with us Keirstein Pat, one of our coaches on the Own Your Eating coaching team, also a member of North Naples CrossFit. Keirstein, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Very well, thank you. We were just having a little brief chat before we got on there about her day. And I forgot to ask one of the most important questions. Tell me, I want to know, what did you have for breakfast today? I bet everybody wants to know. Did you have breakfast?
I always try. So breakfast is like my most favorite thing to be able to sit down and enjoy. So I always try to.
Me too. I'm like, that's the one meal that's sacred to me for some reason. I don't know why.
I love it.
Yeah.
So the nights before, I'm always like, what could I make up? Like I make up this like glorious breakfast, 5-star breakfast in my mind. And it never seems to really go that way. But I had some, is it Siggy's? That's how you pronounce it, right?
Oh, that yogurt?
Yeah, their blueberry one is really good. So I had that, and I think I just had like some carrots, and it was very small. It was like an on-the-go kind of breakfast.
Very simple, very straightforward, quick and easy, but good. Like, glad to hear you took care of some protein needs, though. That's always smart.
That's what I love about that yogurt.
So were you in a rush this morning to get to work?
Yeah.
Did you have a lot of driving to do?
I did. Went all the way to Marco, downtown. So I had to have some things that were quick and easy with me today.
Well, that's good. And speaking of breakfast, it kind of ties in nicely to another question that I'm sure many listeners would like to know. How do you like your eggs?
My eggs. I love them scrambled. Occasionally, I'll get them over easy. Vince loves his sunny side up. I don't really know the difference between sunny side up and over easy, but...
And you know what? I was about to ask you the same thing because I'm English, and there may well be some other English listeners out there, probably just my friends. But I literally cannot remember what those differences, like what does that even mean? Like we don't say that in England. I don't even know how. I don't think there is even an option. It's just like, yeah, I'll have them fried or scrambled. There's no sunny side up. What does that mean?
I think sunny side up is more like it's cooked more on the top. So like it's not going to be super yolky.
Okay. But then what's the other one? Over easy is
over easy.
It's like undercooked. We need clarification on this.
I know. I just use either scrambled or over easy. Like,
well, you know what? I always play it safe too, and I usually would say scrambled or poached because then I know what I'm getting.
Yeah, I guess now that I think about it, there are so many ways you could eat an egg. Poached.
I know that is the cool thing about eggs. They're very versatile. Jason's new favorite way of having eggs is as an omelet, but he makes it with chopsticks because apparently this is how the French make their omelets, so that it's evenly cooked throughout and that you don't have to flip it. But it does kind of make it a little bit messy, in my opinion, and a little more like scrambled eggs than an omelet. But don't tell him I told you that. He's very proud of himself for developing this new French cooking skill.
Eggs.
Well, anyway, if anybody's listening, if you would like to clarify for us what the difference is between sunny side up and over easy, that would be awesome. That way I can order without anxiety in the future. Yeah. Go to a restaurant. Moving on. I have like a ton of different questions here, and I'm trying to choose one that I feel like will put you on your toes a little bit.
Okay.
But at the same time, I'm thinking there's some of these questions that I would like to answer myself. I'm pretty sure that's not the right technique for an interviewer to take. Oh, this is a good one, and I genuinely would like to know this. Have you ever met anyone famous?
Well, I mean, a concert, no.
There's different levels of fame too, right?
No, but I've always like asked myself, I've never met anybody famous. But if I did, I wonder if I would be that kind of person that was like starstruck and wouldn't know what to do.
I experienced this recently, and and this is kind of fame within the world of CrossFit. So when I recently met Katrin Davidsdottir, and I was completely starstruck, and I didn't think I would be, like, if I, like, obviously when you're at the games and you're spectating and you're like, kind of by the field and watching the athletes, that's all really cool. And there's like a certain level of excitement and whatnot. But this was just in an ordinary setting, like in Whole Foods. And she was just sat next to me on a table. And I was completely starstruck. And I like didn't want to get up and ask her for an autograph or anything like that, or just even a picture. I was like way too nervous. And then some other guy went up and just asked for like a selfie or something. And I was like, okay, you know what? I'm probably going to regret it if I don't at least go ask. But I waited for the longest time until it was like, okay, I'm truly not bothering her at this moment in time, because she wasn't like talking or doing anything. So I was like, okay, I'll go up to her when she's not looking busy, and then I'll just be super nice. I could barely get my words out. I don't know what came over me. It was so crazy. So I can never go to like any red carpet event. I couldn't be like one of those interviewers on the red carpet. I wouldn't be able to talk to anyone. It's so funny. I don't know how Jason has such a good handle on that. I guess when you're like there to do a job and like judge them, you're so focused on doing that. Like the whole fame and celebrity side of things doesn't really faze you. But
yeah, I would say so. Like what he does is, like you said, distracting. So he just has one thing to focus on.
Right.
But I feel like if I ever really ran into somebody, I would be like, oh my God, do I say anything? Do I ask for a picture?
I think you have to.
I know.
And I think people love it. It's funny though. Jason and I watched this funny, no, it wasn't a Seinfeld sketch. It was like in his Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee, where where he's talking with this other comedian, and she's like, oh, I always feel like I owe it to people to stop and take pictures and do autographs for them. And he's like, you don't owe it to them. If anything, they owe you. You've been entertaining them this whole time. Like, you don't owe them a picture or an autograph. You owe them nothing. And I was like, that is hysterical. It's so funny. But who would you most like to meet then? If you could meet anyone? It's a tough question.
That is a tough question. I don't know.
Any idols?
I would have to say, so I don't know, maybe like an old country singer, that I used to listen to when it, like,
That's
growing up
so
as a kid. I saw like maybe Martina McBride, or I actually just recently saw Sam Smith in concert, and I fell in love with his personality. And so I don't know, I guess I would just love to meet anybody
that's like cool. That. Yeah. Someone who has an amazing talent like that, who you could just kind of sit and listen to, have them serenade you. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, where was the Sam Smith concert?
We went to Tampa. It was for Vince's birthday, and Dario and Sophia went with us. It was fun.
Oh, nice. Yeah. What is I love that you guys all are under one house. Because Jason was around at your house the other day getting his haircut, and he's like, yeah, it was funny. Like, Keirstein came home from work and Vince was there. And I was like, that's so cool. I was like, oh, it kind of feels like, or reminds me of what it was like living in college, I mean, like when we went through university, we went from halls of residence into like actual apartments, like in the city. But we all of us friends would group together and like live as like a party of 5 or 6 or whatever. But do you guys have like shared meal times then?
So, well, we all do macros.
Well, that helps. Yeah, hey, please tell me you have more than one scale in the kitchen.
We do. I think we have 3.
Only 3? I think we've got like 5 or 6, and we still fight over the scale.
No, we have 3. I think Dario and Sophia have 2, and we only have 1. So we are always waiting on each other to weigh our stuff.
That's hilarious.
Well, we sit down and have like planned meals together, talk about our highs and our lows of the day. Like, it's good. It's nice.
That's awesome. I love that. Yeah, Jay and I, we haven't been quite on the same schedule this last week, but we try to do that often, make sure the TV's off, like sit down and have a chat, like how was your day? What's been good about your week and all that. I think so often overlooked, just having that moment to kind of sit and reflect about, you know what, I had a really awesome week. It was good.
Yeah, it's nice.
Oh, this is a good one. I don't actually know this either. Do you have any tattoos?
I do.
You do? Are
I
they
do.
visible when you have normal clothes on?
So
Or
I've always said, like, kept myself before I got married. I don't want them to be visible.
okay,
I had
interesting.
the idea of like I don't want it to show in my wedding dress and blah.
Oh, gotcha. Yes.
But I have one on my ribs, and I
On
got
your side. Oh yeah. Wait, what is it?
it's Vince calls it my Starbucks tattoo.
Do you love coffee that much? I mean, I actually would consider getting a coffee tattoo. I love coffee
Yeah.
that
So
much.
he calls it my white girl Starbucks tattoo because it's an infinity sign with a feather at the end, and it says love life in it. So it's kind of like a forever love life kind of thing. And he just says it's your typical girl tattoo, my Starbucks.
Oh,
But
I
I
think
got
that's cute.
it's cute. I got it with
How
my cousin.
she has the same one?
She has the same one. She has it on her bicep, and I got mine on.
How old were you guys when you got them done?
I think don't you have to be 18 to get one?
Oh, I don't know what the rules are. You're right. In England, you do have to be 18. I don't know what the rules are
The
here.
same here, and I think the second I turned 18, I was like, let's do it.
It's funny how that happens in life. It's like you have this restriction your whole life, and I mean, I know some people don't care about it, but I remember feeling the same way. It was like liberated. Finally, I'm allowed to do this thing that I wasn't allowed to do for so long that I'm going to do it. That's why I don't know. That's what, yeah. Being restrictive about things, I feel like is never the best approach because,
No.
when you finally can do that thing, you're probably going to go crazy and do something like
Yeah.
get a Greek, I don't even know what it is now, a Greek symbol of my star sign on my hip. Yeah, it's supposed to mean Virgo, but I think it's a Greek symbol for Virgo. I don't know. Mags and I had a conversation about this. I feel like we have two very similar tattoos.
Yeah, I was hearing that about your guys's. And then my second one is on the back of my neck, and it's
Oh,
my dad's handwriting, and it says "I love you."
oh, that's so cute. I always wondered what that was. I love that. I really like that. When you can like get that, like the copied handwriting. That's so nice. I've seen like or heard stories about other people doing things like that. Like I don't
Yeah.
know, like a family kind of motto inscribed on your chest in your parents'
Yeah.
handwriting or something. That's sweet.
Yeah.
So I take it you're a daddy's girl. I'm just gonna
Huge daddy's girl. Love him.
huge daddy's girl. That's where we get on. Oh, what this is a nice question. I like this. What was the last thing that made you belly laugh? Like laugh uncontrollably, and when was it? I hope it was recent.
I don't know. I mean, I had a pretty good laugh this morning. One of the second half of the workout was called My Best Friend Plank.
Oh.
And Vince drew, I guess it's from the show Ed, Ed and Eddie.
I haven't seen that show, but it sounds like a play on words of something.
And so I don't think there was a picture drawn up there. And I guess the whole entire morning Vince was talking about it, how it was from Ed, Ed and Eddie. And one of the characters' best friend is plank. And it's literally like a piece of plywood, like a plank. And Vince drew it on there. And I was like, oh, that kind of looks like the thing from Ed, Ed and Eddie. And Vince was like, you totally missed that I was talking about it the whole entire morning. So we call those kind of Keirsteinism. I really wasn't paying attention, and we laughed about that. But I don't know. I can't remember how the last thing I like really, really laughed about.
It's funny. I feel like they don't happen so often day to day, but I feel like they tend to happen when something just really ridiculous happens. Like and oftentimes when I think about times in my life where I've laughed like uncontrollably or like inexplicably, it was always when my friend and I, Sam, when we were at school, in like our assemblies. I don't know if this is normal right in the States, but like every morning we would have an assembly, like we'd sing hymns and the headmistress would like read a bunch of stuff and whatever. Anyway, there would always like be a point where you really should not be making any noise whatsoever, and we could just never contain ourselves. Like one of us would look at the other one and we would immediately want to burst out laughing, and it was just like completely ridiculous and for no reason, but we would just laugh uncontrollably and we'd have to like leave the assembly hall. But other than that, recently for me it was the dogs both got spayed the other week, and it was them coming around from their anesthesia. I don't know if you've ever seen those YouTube videos where the kids are like completely out of it and goofy after they've had anesthesia, but the dogs were just like that. And on top of it, they had to have these cones around their necks, so they looked ridiculous as well. And they were so freaked out by the entire thing. They were just like playing musical statues in the middle of the living room. But the best part was when I tried to get them into their crates with their cones on. So that was like, you can't leave them for a second without their cones on because they'll probably try to tear their stitches out. And I was like, so afraid of this. So I got them in their crates with their cones on, and Lola like stands up, like arches her back and lifts her head, and her cone gets caught in the top of her crate, and she's like too terrified to move, staring up at me like this, like frozen in space. And I just could not stop laughing. And Jason was in the living room. I was like, please come here, this is the funniest thing I've ever seen. And literally for like 5 minutes she was just stood there not moving. Like
I know, I remember when you sent me a picture of them and they were both just like facing the corner with their cones on, and you were like, they don't know what to think.
Yeah.
Dying because I remember
oh my god, it was so funny. That was them all afternoon, like for hours. Just one of them stood in the middle of the room and the other one sat facing the wall. I was just like, they are out of it, like complete Fruit Loops right now.
Yeah, that was great.
How's your dog, by the way? I haven't seen Liberty in a while.
She's good. She's a little sassy pants, but she's good.
I love how dogs have their own little personalities and characters. They're so funny. Like Lola and Mimi like just provide me with hours of endless entertainment. Even when they're sleeping, they do ridiculous stuff.
I know.
Too funny. I think every house should have a dog.
I agree. Totally agree.
Oh, speaking of houses and homes and families, well, I already know that you're a daddy's girl, but what's your favorite family tradition?
So I feel like my family just created this little tradition, and it was this last Christmas. And I don't know if you've ever seen it on Facebook, but I saw it on Facebook, and it's whenever like your family stands around and you have this gift and it's like wrapped up with all the tape and everything, and you have the oven mitts on.
Oh, I love this game.
So I was like, let's play it, because usually, I don't know, our holidays that we get together, it's like the same thing. You know, we get together for breakfast or lunch or dinner and we open our gifts and we hang out. And I was like, let's do something different. So we did it, and it was the funniest thing I have ever played. And so from now on, we'll always do this at Christmas.
So what's the rule for the game? Because I know, so it's like all wrapped in wrapping paper and each layer has like a gift or something inside it, right?
I think so. All I remember is that it has to be wrapped and you have to have your oven mitts on, and we had a timer, and it was, you get like 30 seconds to try to unravel it and get it opened. And if you don't, then it's the next person. We had a hat on, and it was like,
the more ridiculous you can make it, the better. Yeah, I think I've played that before, where each layer of wrapping has like a small gift or trinket inside, and the player in front has the dice. So you play it with dice, and they're like trying to throw doubles. And as soon as they throw doubles, then you have to pass the gift on. So if you haven't been able to unwrap a layer of wrapping in that time, then you have to pass the gift on.
Right. That's actually exactly how we played it, now that I'm remembering. It was the doubles.
Yeah, with the dice.
Everybody was in such a frantic. It was like anxiety.
And it's so crazy because you don't even care what the gift is. You just want to win. Like
everyone is so hyped. It's like ridiculous.
Isn't it funny what we would do for competition? That's why the whole point system works with CrossFit and, going for reps.
Yeah.
What was that? Was that thunder?
Thunder, yeah, lightning.
Oh my gosh, yeah, it's pouring down outside now. Too funny. I like that. That's a cool family tradition. My family actually we started doing a similar tradition at Christmas time with what's it called? Is it called the white elephant? So everybody basically buys a gift, just one gift, rather than everyone buying everybody a gift. I was like, let's just resist the temptation of being crazy and over the top and spending too much money every year. Let's just all buy one gift and put it into the middle, and then we play a game to see who gets what gift. But I can't remember the rules of that one. I don't know.
That's actually cool.
I think it's called White Elephant. But that's fun because then if you have people coming to join you for Christmas Day, they don't feel like they have to buy everyone a gift, and you can just put things like, I don't know, a very kind of gender neutral gift into the pile. It's good. It's fun.
Yeah, that's nice. I feel like it's less stressful because then it's like I have to get
oh my gosh
another gift, and then what about his girlfriend and my mom?
Exactly. Yes. Although I don't know, when I was a kid, I did love going to my my grand's house, and there's I have a ridiculous number of cousins. I can't remember how many I have anymore, but it's somewhere around 20. So there was 15 of us at the time, running around my grand's house. And I loved Christmas because we were just showered with presents from all of our aunties and uncles. It was so great. I loved it. I was a very spoiled child. All right, let's wrap this up. Let's see. I got to choose one more really super interesting question that I'm sure everybody wants to know. Let's see. Ooh, this one's good. I like this one. If you could pick up a new skill instantly, what would it be?
I don't know.
Any skill.
A skill.
Any skill or talent or anything like that.
I don't know if this would relate to it. It's not even a skill. I heard, so I was listening to other people's podcasts, how they were talking about, there was a question, a superpower. I don't know if it would be a skill, a superpower.
You could do that. Tell me what that's a good one. Tell me what superpower you would like to have.
I'd love to be able to read people's minds.
Ooh, that is kind of creepy.
I know. I don't know if it's a good or a bad thing, but I in any social setting, I feel like I'm always the person that's very observant, reading people's body language, seeing how they react to certain things. And so I'm always wondering what people are really thinking.
That's so funny. I can tell you're that kind of person because I'm somewhat similar, and I sit back and listen and observe, and I see you doing the same thing. But I have to say, being able to read someone's mind, that's kind of creepy, but I like it. I think though, I'm trying to think what I would most like, because I feel like I wouldn't like that, because then I would actually, people think ridiculous stuff, crazy thoughts go through our heads all day long. I know crazy shit goes through my head.
That might be a little overwhelming to be able to.
Yeah, I feel like it would be really overwhelming. Have you ever seen that movie, What Women Want, with Mel Gibson and Helen Hunt?
No, I don't think so.
Oh my gosh, you've got to watch it.
I feel like I have, because in that movie, aren't they able to read minds?
Yeah, so he, all of a sudden, he's this male chauvinist who charms women constantly and is sleeping with women every night of the week, basically.
Yes.
But something happens and he now has this inescapable ability to be able to read women's minds. And at first he's like, this is horrifying. I hear everything they're thinking. And then he starts to realize that he can use it to his own advantage. And then, you know, he's using it actually to manipulate women. And then he realizes he should use it for good. So, you know, I feel like with those kinds of powers, you've obviously got to be responsible and use them for good. But yeah, definitely worth a watch. It's an old movie, probably won't look so good in high definition on your smart TV, but but I recommend it. It's a real feel-good movie, and who doesn't love Mel Gibson? Yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you for joining us this afternoon, Keirstein, and for sharing some insights into your life, into the world of Keirstein. And yeah, I hope that you'll share this with all of your clients, and and hopefully they'll respond and share with you what their superpowers would be. They probably would like you to be able to read their minds, actually. Awesome. Well, what are you doing this evening? You already got your workout in, right?
I did. Yeah, I went at 6 o'clock this morning. I've been trying to get there early. I know. We have a family dinner tonight, so.
Oh, very nice. Are you cooking?
No, they are.
Oh, even better. Well, hopefully they have saved the packages and will tell you the macros.
Whenever we go to people's houses and they cook, I'm like, what brand? Just give me the package and I'll just.
Yeah. Otherwise, you know, do your best or treat it as a special occasion, as I tell people sometimes. But awesome. Well, enjoy your family dinner and enjoy the rest of your weekend. Thanks for joining us today. And thank you to all of our listeners for joining us for another Own Your Eating podcast. And please write in and let us know if you have any questions for Keirstein, or if you want to know more about the work Keirstein does and her experience and her amazing expertise in nutrition and coaching clients. Please reach out. You can reach out to us directly on contact@ownyoureating.com, and you can also respond or comment on our blog post, or reach out to us in Facebook in the Own Your Eating tribe. So lots of ways you can reach out to us on social media as well, with the handle @OwnYourEating. And we look forward to hearing from you and hopefully working with you soon. Bye for now.